Unite from NBA All-Star Weekend in the Queen City of Charlotte.
We weren't really sure what to do in Charlotte.
The challenge is to help present the city in a pretty dynamic way.
So when we were brainstorming, we kind of wanted to dive into some things that were a little more scenic-based.
But then we thought about, flying drones through the city. Up buildings, down buildings, barrel turning.
Once we started talking about it, we got really excited about the prospect of it being something new and different that hasn't been done before.
The design process went really fast.
There were several different iterations.
Drones that looked like basketballs.
Very robotic drones.
Drones that looked like drones.
At one point, it was decided that these drones should look a little bit like spaceships even.
It just kind of dawned on me, you know what, scratch this drone idea. We're gonna make Hornets. We're gonna make Hornets flying through the city. It's gonna tie in to the Charlotte Hornets identity, and it will be cool as shit. Once we got into production talks, we'd seen the FP drone for the first time, and we saw its magic. We knew we'd struck gold.
FPV drones are usually custom made. It's a carbon fiber frame, weighs just over a pound. The video cameras, we use a GoPro. There's no gimbal or anything. It's literally just hard mounted on the top of the aircraft.
The racing drone footage was completely unique. Never, ever seen anything like it.
It was like playing with a CG camera, but in real life.
We fly these things remotely while looking through goggles so that we can see what the drone sees in real time. It's like you're sitting in the cockpit of a small aircraft.
Just flying through the air at ridiculous speeds, 60 miles an hour.
It was, from an editor's standpoint, really a dream come true.
The shoot resulted in a tremendous amount of footage.
Almost every single take was usable. We had to try to figure out how to maximize that.
150 plus shots. How are we going to track this?
We realized that we were going to be having to make a completely different pipeline than what we would normally do.
As dynamic as the move is as difficult as the tracking is, basically.
They're shooting over the top of glass buildings that are highly reflective, and all these things start to contribute to the complexity.
The difficult part was no one had worked with racing drones before, and we didn't really know what it was all going to be like.
And now we're not just flying around drones, now we're flying around characters that actually have to perform, or they have to land on things, they have to be able to walk, they have to be able to fly.
I actually considered killing the Hornet. The scenics look great cut together by themselves. The last thing I want to do is mess that up. So I actually stepped out of Brett's room, called Drew.
I did feel like I was in a little bit of pep talk mode there, because what I saw with my eyes, imagining what it could be with the CG, was something well beyond what they could have accomplished with just the scenics.
In my mind, there was no way we were going to kill it. We found match movers in Marseille, France, and they were immediately on board and ready to help.
And so we tried to send one of the most difficult shots that we had. It was ridiculous. The camera was spinning, and it was all reflective buildings, and I said, I don't want to have to track that shot. We'd love to see what somebody else can do with it.
Their tracks were spot on. It wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have good tracking. Everything would have fallen apart.
But dealing with the sheer number of shots that we had to put together, comp, track, color correct.
With no special camera tricks, no CG of the city flying, what we shot ended up on the final product.
As soon as I saw the first real rendering of the Hornet, I was sold, man. I was sold.
Every bump had a unique edit, which was a unique shot, which had unique 3D, unique tracking. I believe we had over 36 minutes of content.
I've been editing sports since 1998. This was the most unique project I've ever done.
If you're not questioning, how in the world these guys do this, then you're not paying attention.